Okay, so I think we're live now. I had a little difficulty. It was getting pretty scary there. I guess that's what these energies are bringing in with us today. So here we are, right on time, right on cue, and everybody can hear me. Thank you, everybody who has joined in to the program today. I just want to say hello and welcome to Doves for Peace Virtual TV. It's created by very dear, sweet soul who is an enclosed monk living in England. He is Reverend Brother Sean Bradley, who has devoted his life to God and all of God's children. The Doves for Peace Virtual TV is a place where anybody from anywhere with any belief system can connect to beautiful, benevolent energies that will help us on our journey here on our Mother Earth during this lifetime. Hello, I am Sanetha. I am so glad you were able to join us today. I know things have been really rough for most of you, and I also know that if you are listening to these messages, you have been asking Spirit for answers to the many, many questions that have been on your minds. First, as it is our tradition here at Doves for Peace, I think you can see behind me, I have lit a candle today to celebrate our birthdays as we humanity prepare for our rebirth into the new world. Yes, we and our Mother Earth are about to take a huge leap in our evolution. So welcome to the program. You are here for a reason. So if you have read what today's message will be about, I'm just going to read it to you so you're familiar with what today's topic will be. Preparing for rebirth, removing the veil. Who am I? Why am I here? Where did I come from? And how do I get back home again? And you're probably wondering, I know I've asked those questions to myself many, many times. And you're wondering, what could this topic possibly be about today? In search of the answers to these questions, you, the great invisible spirit, who have come many times, reincarnating into a new human body over and over again, growing new leaves each time, while leaving out the list of possibilities and probabilities that you created for your life experiences before you came. When I said while leaving out, that should read while living out. So I am Sanetha, and owner of Sanetha's Soulgenic Healing Solutions. And I have also written the book, The Kingdom of Heaven, within the Holy Book of the Great Invisible Spirit. If any of you are not familiar with that book, you can find it on my website at Sanetha, SANETHA.com. You can also read Facebook posts almost on a daily basis, information that is downloaded to me from my spirit guides, my angelic team, that is given to me to give to you when I have the information that I am feeling, that the world is feeling and needing at that time. So go into the Facebook page of Sanetha and read the many posts, the long posts of information that are there for you to connect to at this time, as we move from this world of reincarnating once again without having to leave our body. So just let me explain a little bit about what I mean about preparing for rebirth, removing the veil. First of all, let's talk about our physical birth, our birth date into the physical world, which happens over and over again. And for many of us, we have been here on this earth. We are old souls on the earth. We have been here many times. Many of you, like me, have reincarnated many, many times. And each time we reincarnate, we return to the same place on the path, wherever that may be where we left off. And yes, it may take a few years to get to realize where we are on that path. But there are little things that move along our way in our life experiences that wake us up, that trigger us to turn our heads to say, what is that I hear? What is that I'm seeing? What is it that I'm believing? What is it? Who am I really? Where did I really come from? And why am I here? So, what is physical birth? At the time of our transition from spirit world into the physical world, our spirit is separated from our body by the veil, hiding us from remembering and knowing who we are and where we came from. And what is physical death? Well, many of us know, and this is something that will happen to all of us eventually, when the body is no longer able to function for whatever reasons come our way, for what life choices we have chosen. But I assure you that if you had made choices before incarnating into this life, and if your life feels dismal and dark, you do have the opportunity now to change that, because the light has arrived. It has taken many, many lifetimes, many incarnations of the old soul, of the old souls to be here, to have enough light to show the way for the others, so that we could pave the way, show the souls here on earth how to reincarnate, how to access your gifts and abilities while still living in a physical body without having to leave your body. So, physical death. At the time of our transition from the physical world back to the spiritual world, the body is left behind and the veil is removed, reuniting us with our spirit, where we are brought back into remembering who we are and where we are from. Suddenly, we realize that we have never been alone, that our spirit family, our soul family, our angels, our guides have always been there. And I repeat, they are there with you now. And they can only help you if you ask. So as we go through this message today, and for those who do not understand, know that you are not alone. You never were. And they are there to help you. Just go within and find that place to connect with them. All you have to do is say, yes, I need your help. Please show me the way. So we know what birth is into the physical, and we know what death is back into the spirit form. We are souls. We are spiritual beings having glorious human experiences over and over again. And if you have been listening to my previous messages on previous shows, I tell you over and over again, we are spiritual beings having human experiences. And you may be asking, why would I choose such a thing? Why would I do that to myself? I don't want to be here. I hate this place called Earth. And we've all been there. And almost everybody says that over and over again. Please hear me. You chose it. We all knew that we would come to this time in our history on the earth where we could make a difference, where we could change the world, where we could change the universe, where we could change ourselves. There were things that happened a long time ago that we had to make these changes so that we could save humanity, so that the earth would not end again and again as it had many times before, because there was not enough light. And the light has won. We have taken our power back. The dark energies are fighting. And that's what you're feeling, dear ones. The dark energies know they have lost, and they will not go down without a fight. So please bear with me. Hang in there. Go within. Find yourself. Find your soul purpose. Find out that your why did this happen to me, is turning you to the place where you need to be on your path. Find out that all the times that the things that happened to you that you wondered, why did I get sick? Why did that person hurt me so much? Why did I have a terrible accident? Why do I live blind? Why do I live with a disability? These are things that you have chosen that would turn you toward the place on the path that you would most likely find your awakening, your salvation, your transition, your light, to find the people that were going to be making you happy, to have joy in your life, to have love in your life, for you to spread the light. So when that torch is passed to you, you are now holding the flame that can be joined with the rest of the humans on the earth who are bringing the light as the dark scatter and run. And some dark will join. These dark energies are energies that we asked to be here at this time. If it wasn't for them, we would not be where we are today as we move into this new world, as we transition, as Jesus did over 2,000 years ago. He left his body, and he is the Son of God, as you are. And he has returned many times, as you did. Some souls are here for the very first time. Some souls have never incarnated into a human body on earth. But I can tell you that they are lined up at the gates in heaven, waiting for a physical body, because they can see that we have made it. This is the first time in our history is a time of celebration, and things are going to be so much different. You are the light. Reincarnation at the physical birth. Each time we transition from the spirit world to the physical world, the soul continues to carry all of its life experiences full of gifts and abilities in our DNA blueprint. However, we use less than 3% of our personality during each incarnation. And that 3% of your DNA, as many of you know, is the DNA that you bring with you from the parents that you have birthed from. The color of your hair, the color of your skin, the color of your eyes, parts of your personality. And you may have noticed throughout your life that there are many souls who are born into physical bodies, many who seem to have capabilities that are beyond our comprehension. Many people who can play the piano at a very young age, or a violin, or do certain things that doesn't seem normal. Where does this come from? I tell you, dear ones, it comes from the DNA that exists in their DNA blueprint. They have chosen to bring it with them at an early age to awaken the souls who would be looking, who would be searching for information. You too have that ability within you, no matter what your physical body age is. You can access the gifts and abilities, but there is work to do while in the physical body. So each time we transition from the spirit world to the physical world, the soul continues to carry all of its life experiences, full of gifts and abilities in our DNA blueprint. But reincarnation on the new earth, reincarnating without leaving our physical bodies, is what we are capable of. What Sanetha is here to be able to show you the way. This is the very first time in our history of our Mother Earth that man has the ability to reincarnate without leaving the body and without leaving our Mother Earth. So before I move forward to all of the people who have tuned into this program today, please feel free to join us in the chat room and ask questions. And I'll help to get to them if I see them, or send me a message at sanetha@sanetha.com. I'd like to take you to a place in the book. And it's from page 87, and for many of you who have read the book, it's titled Knowing Elijah. The ability of clairsentient. The gift of knowing is one of the abilities that I have carried within my personality, part of my DNA blueprint from one lifetime to another. During my awakening, my rebirth into the fifth dimensional energies, the awareness became known. It was part of the divine plan so that I could now write this book about past lives, reincarnation, and the DNA at this exact time in our history. My ability to heal myself and others has always been carried with me. In some lifetimes, I was killed just like Jesus and John the Baptist were killed for their abilities. Some people thought because I could heal others and know things that I was a witch. In fact, the same people who received healings from me during that cycle were the same people who reported me and then had me killed. Thanks a bunch, but I do forgive you, and I hope you can forgive me too. The battle is not with each other. The battle is within. Imagine you are standing on the bank of a river and everything you need is on the other side. There are obstacles that you will need to overcome before you can even think about building a boat or going in for the big swim. We all have past life experiences that are so painful and so sorrowful. We have blocked the knowledge of them, which is holding you back from your truth. You must become a clear vessel with a pure heart. What you have done to others has also been done to you. So it might not have been in this lifetime, but a previous lifetime. It is time for forgiveness and for healing. The days of karma are over for those who choose this spiritual transformation. Happy birthday, Elijah. Elijah has come again, here to be, here for this momentous time. As it says in Corinthians 2:13 from the King James Version of the Bible, this is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. I told you before, and I foretell you, as if I were present the second time, and being absent now, I write to them, which therefore have sinned, and to all other that if I come again, I will not spare. And Sanetha puts a quote in there saying, this is the third time I am coming to you. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be recognized. And then in Mark 9:9-13, and as they came down from the mountain, he charged them that they should tell no man what things they had seen till the Son of Man were risen from the dead. And if you've been on these programs before, I've mentioned before, dead means sleep. And as Sanetha interprets this quote, as they come down from the mountain, Jesus told them that they should not tell anyone what they had seen till the Son of Man has awakened out of their sleep, the mass awakening. And then it continues, and they kept that saying with themselves, questioning one with another what the rising from the dead should mean. And Sanetha's interpretation, rising from the dead means awakening out of a sleep. And as they asked him, saying, why say the scribes that Elias must come? And Sanetha's interpretation, they asked, why do the scribes, one who writes, say that Elijah must come first? And he answered and told them, Elias verily cometh first, and restoreth all things, and how it is written of the Son of Man, that he must suffer many things, and be set at naught. And Sanetha's interpretation, he answered them and said, Elijah happily comes first and restores all things. It has been written that the Son of Man must suffer many things and set to nothing, have nothing left. In other words, when man is at his lowest point, after having suffered many things, then Elijah will come. But I say unto you that Elias is indeed come, and they have done unto him whatsoever they listed, as it is written of him. And Sanetha has interpreted it as, I tell you, Elijah has come, but they did not recognize him, and they did to him whatever they wanted, as it is written about him. In other words, the written word about Elijah is true, but not written down as it being Elijah. Jesus was talking about himself as Elijah 800 years before. Yes, I tell you, Jesus and Elijah are but the same soul reincarnated. Both Jesus and John the Baptist suffered terrible deaths. Everyone assumed he was talking about John the Baptist because most people were not thinking or believing about reincarnation or past lives. In fact, to this day, most people don't. But that is about to change as we move into this new energy of positive, beautiful light that will shine and penetrate every single human being and the Mother Earth and the entire universe. Things will never be the same. The dark will have difficulty because on that earth, There is no place for war. There is no place for hatred. There is no place for jealousy or doubt or fear or judgment. But do not despair, for you have time to clean your spirit, your soul, your physical body of these negative energies that have been with you for many, many lifetimes. It is work. It is work that will require you to reprogram your DNA. As you incarnated into this life, programming the DNA to the list of life experiences and difficulties and celebrations that you would have that would take you down the path. You can reprogram all of this. The war is over. You do not have to live out your karma if you choose. It is up to you, dear ones. It's always been up to you. There are many places to get information, to seek out how you can become clean. And if you read Sanetha's book, that is a good place to start. Start understanding what the differences is from your belief system, from the schools that you attended, from the religion institutions and the government, and all the other things, the people that have come and gone in your life, the people who have made things difficult for you. You chose that. It was a contract that you made together so that we could do this one at a time, so that we could do it for the greater good of mankind. It isn't just about me or you or your family or your community. This is about all that is the earth and all of its inhabitants, the universe, the galaxy. This is the first time in many thousands of years that all of this is coming together for us. So then I'm going to go on to page 118. I had asked before I came onto this program, what is it in the book that they would like the listeners to hear about today? And this is what they have picked. For you, for me, for all of us, for the greater good of the rest of the world, for all of us. It's titled Sealed with a Kiss. Many of you have heard the record Sealed with a Kiss. And when I was writing the book, there were many different songs that came into my awareness that they were showing me to remember so that I would write according to the rhythm, to the words. And so today I read this to you. Though we gotta say goodbye for the summer, baby, I promise you this. I'll send you all my love every day in a letter, sealed with a kiss. That was written and recorded by songwriter and singer Bobby Vinton. Oh, that dates me a little, but that's okay. I'm going to be living for a very long time as the energies have changed where we are living longer. That when years ago, when you read about in the Bible, when Adam and Eve and Seth, they were living to be 1,000 years old. And we often wondered, how could that possibly be? And with this new energy, the new earth, we are reversing that living shorter years to living longer years. So I hope you put some money away in your RRSP or your income funds here in the US. They call them something different everywhere in the world. No, don't worry about it. Everything is going to be fine. So as do the messages repeat from lifetime to lifetime, so does history repeat over and over again. Notably, in many of the ancient texts, you will notice the request of returning the bones to the homeland. Just to give you an example, what happens when you send a message to someone and because they didn't respond, you know or think it wasn't received? You review the message and the process used to send it, and then you send another message, bigger, better, clearer, and louder than the message sent the time before. You will send it over and over again using different words or different tools, eager that that message will get to the destination and be received in full context, and sometimes sealed with a kiss. And just think about this for just a minute, and think about in the ancient days, the texts that were written and how difficult it has been trying to put the words and the pieces together of what had been written so long ago, and how the energy of it was changed. And now I sit here today in my home on a broadcast live stream TV called Doves for Peace, giving you the same messages over the internet. My guides told me a long time ago that the internet is definitely a place that will thrive and continue to thrive and expand as the energy does. So it's going to be very exciting to see what is coming our way. Will you be one of the souls here on the earth to invent, to create something new, to bring us even closer, to bring this information even faster? It is moving very fast, dear ones. We are the 12 tribes of Jacob. Israel. Israel. Mother, Father, God. In a manner of speaking, we have separated from the 10 of the tribes since birth. That was the veil that was pulled down in front of us at the time of our birth, until death do us part, or until we wake up. Jacob had 12 sons and 1 daughter. The first 10 sons born to Jacob are the 10 lost tribes. They are hidden in the north, separated from us when our soul enters our physical body on the earth plane and in the 3rd dimension. The physical body, where your soul resides, matches our mother earth vibration. This is the DNA part that is understood by science. The parts, the 10 lost tribes, is the other DNA, the DNA that is not being used. It has been separated, covered up by leaves from the Garden of Eden. It is the spiritual DNA. This is the veil. It is the DNA science calls junk. Junk DNA. They know it is there, but they have no idea what it does or why it is there yet. But they're finding out, slowly but surely. Without the use of this DNA, we are not operating with all of our faculties. We, as spiritual beings, have a human experience, are limited to what we can do without them. It is high time to take off our leaves and reveal who we are. You see, when Adam and Eve realized that they were in a physical body, it was at that time that they ran to find something to cover up their bodies, because until that time, they were spiritual beings. They had no idea that they had arrived in a physical body. And now we can take off those leaves because we are rising to the occasion to come together with our spiritual beings. We are becoming one. We are becoming whole again. It is a time of healing all of our lifetimes. This takes work, dear ones. This is not easy. You will need spiritual teachers that come along your path. They are everywhere. They just research on the internet. Look in your own community. Go within and find your guides and angels. They will show you the way. We have enough wherewithal in place to know to ask, and sometimes each other, the same questions over and over again. Doesn't it seem odd that no one is talking about the answers? With every question, there is an answer. Who am I? Where did I come from? How did I get here? And how do I get back home again? Home is when we bring heaven to earth, bring our spirit into our body. It seems that maybe we have something in common with the rest of the world, including the 10 lost tribes of Israel. It would make sense that to say that all of us have the same soul purpose. A soul purpose. So where are we with time? We're doing good. Is anybody in the chat room have any questions? Please ask. So I will move on and expand with some more reading in a minute. But I just want to go to that place with you to help you understand that whatever it is that you're going through, know that there's a reason for it. Again, I repeat over and over again, there is a reason for everything that happens. By the second, think about today. What happened to you today? What happened to you that had you asking the questions? Questioning why? Does that happen to me? The tables are turning, dear ones. The tables are turning, and you are no longer need to feel like a victim. You are not a victim in all of this. You are a soul who has come to the earth, knowing, expecting that this was going to happen. It's like an army of ants planning out the whole thing together so that we can make the light come through. And it only took a small amount of light. When you take a candle and you walk into a dark room, the light of that candle lights up the room. And yes, the dark energies keep coming back and trying to put out the light and try to scare everybody away under the carpet to hiding, because we have it in our DNA blueprint from previous lifetimes of things that have happened to us that stopped us from speaking and discovering our truth, the truth of who we really are. For if the world was to find out, certain religions would have no premises to have people continue to need to pay financially into them. You have your own premises. You have premises beyond your understanding that are capable for you to bring this understanding to you. Reverend Brother Sean, every single day, brings somebody new to the program who, if something doesn't resonate with you here today, there may be a light worker who shows up tomorrow. And Brother Sean has messages all throughout his programs, and go to his website and find out about other programs. I'm losing my voice again because Sanetha talks too much. So to finish this off, and it just seems like time flies when I'm on this program, and I hope that I've been able to deliver some messages for some of you something that resonated with you. Please, I go to my Facebook page and read the latest posts that I have been posting. These are incredible times that we are having, and it has been very difficult in the previous years and the previous months, the previous weeks and the previous days. And as we move closer to the timeline, we are crossing the timeline where we are able to move in to that light, where things will start to get easier and lighter, and you'll start to understand that you understand things, that you have abilities and capabilities. You feel more joy and happiness, and that people are seeing you and they can hear you, because up until now you were not able to be seen for reasons of the light was just too bright for some of those to see. And now that the earth is moving into that, everything lightens up for everybody. And yes, some people will choose to leave, and dark, some will become so dark they will be living in another world. They won't exist in your world. You'll see these people fall away from your life. But it is up to you. And one of the things that, the most important thing that I can say to you today, to get you through to that timeline and to continue using throughout your new rebirth when the veil is removed, is to not give negative energy any fire. And it is being tested with us, dear ones, over and over again as we move in to this transition, this arising of our Christ consciousness. We are sons of God. We too can rise as Jesus did at Easter, as we cross into the timeline. We are rising out of the old earth into a new, beautiful paradise, our heaven on earth. But when negative energy presents itself and it's facing you dead on, you can choose how you react. And it can be very difficult. It gets under your skin. It hits you emotionally. But with practice, you will let go little by little. So if we do not respond to the negative energy, just acknowledge it. Understand that it is there presenting itself. You can acknowledge it and thank it. And then let it go. Let it disintegrate. Shine your light. Light your candle. Shine it for everybody to see. And stand tall, knowing who you are, where you came from, and where you are going. People will soon follow you. You are the light, and the negative will disappear. So, to finish off, I would like to read a little bit more from the book. And thank you again for taking the time to be with me in this length of time. New beginnings. The world to come is a spiritual transformation in relation to death, judgment, heaven, and hell, reflecting the truth that the existing world energy is descending and will be replaced by a better world or paradise. Isaiah 66:22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. Seed, in my book, is your soul. What comes is not an end, but the beginning. This has always been the way. There are no endings, but always beautiful, glorious new beginnings. Old energy disintegrates as the new energy is created. Reincarnated energy. This is not the first time I have come with this message. The other messages are past life, old energy. All beginnings come back better than the time before. Mother Gaia is also in transition. Before she goes and upon her reincarnation, she is calling all her children to be by her side to receive their blessings. The transition is not an easy one, and as we and our Mother Earth shed our skin and morph into the beautiful butterfly, each soul will use his own oil, his mana, while the old parts of you won't give up without a fight. The journey may become difficult, but the rewards are unlike anything you can imagine. The dream humanity has lived for centuries ends, and we are awakened to a bright new day, a bright new way. Our individual worth comes from within. Through our spiritual development, our evolution, and our divine signature, our divine DNA blueprint. Letting go and dissolving our differences, we can unite once again as one. We integrate and unify with the energy of the universe, with the great cosmic spirit, the great invisible spirit. Love based on anything other than the pureness of your own God self and God the Creator changes the world, the universe, and the galaxy as we know it. We can prepare ourselves for unity with the universal spirit. In the age of Aquarius, we break from the past to create the future we desire in our world and in our life. The soul transition is a reversal, a life review, downsizing, and getting rid of baggage so that you might fit through the new doors. The answers we find will be different, not because the answers have changed, but the energy has changed, allowing you to receive the information with a new set of eyes and a new set of ears. These changes require a thorough examination of what has been and what we wish to become. Who are you and where we all come from? Once enlightened, each human being will continue his or his individual journey within and become reunited with the spirit self, the conscious spiritual human beings, seekers of truth. The kingdom of heaven within the holy book of the great invisible spirit will bring healing to many people of many tongues and nations in the process. And to this, I wish you a good day, a good night, a good morning, a good life. See you on the other side. Thank you for listening. Happy Easter and have a wonderful resurrection. See you on April the 14th. Bye now.